Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I have an exciting new perfume to show you, and this is the iconic Miss Dior Eau de Parfum that has been recently reformulated once again. Originally, Miss Dior has been created by Christian Dior and was released in 1947. Since then, there have been 24 flankers and reformulations of the Eau de Parfum and Eau de Toilette versions. Still up to date, this fragrance remains a signature for the house of Dior. The latest version of Miss Dior Eau de Parfum was created by François de Manchy and is described as an elegant floral fragrance with dominant notes of roses. It has damask rose, May rose of grass with a fresh opening of lemon, Calabrian bergamot, pink pepper and orange. The base notes include rosewood and patchouli. The whole idea of this reworking of the previous version of Miss Dior Eau de Parfum from 2012 was to make Miss Dior more modern and more up-to-date. For François de Manchy, this would mean to keep the floral heart of the fragrance while playing with its supporting characters. The result that he wanted to achieve was a perfume that is more simple and less heavy, and that would mean less patchouli, more fresh green notes and 2 scents of orange. A classic sweet orange and a sultrier blood orange. On my skin, Miss Dior opens as a sweet, well-balanced floral fragrance with a hint of lemon at the very beginning, which disappears within 20 minutes after spraying the perfume on my skin. The fragrance quickly develops into a sweet combination of roses, balanced with some orange notes and a touch of jasmine that somehow balances the sweetness of the roses. The dry down is sweet and fruity, even slightly delicious. I can really feel the dominant notes of roses in this fragrance. Well, mission accomplished. Miss Dior is now a completely different fragrance from the last release from 2012. It has nothing to do with the old version of Miss Dior. This one is really sweet, modern, it's not complicated, it's not heavy in any way, but it's very, very different than the previous version. So I think it's kind of a sad day for those of you who really enjoyed the previous version from 2012, including myself. I know that a lot of people didn't really enjoy the previous versions of Miss Dior Eau de Toilette and Eau de Parfum because they found them to be too heavy and too overwhelming. For some people, it was not easy probably to wear them. So if you're one of those people who thought that the previous versions of Miss Dior was too heavy and too overwhelming, then definitely check this one out. This has nothing to do with the old versions of Miss Dior. It's not as long lasting, at least to my skin, it's not as long lasting as the old version of Miss Dior, but probably this is because this one is not as heavy as the previous version. The previous version would last me a good 12 hours, whereas this one would last me like 6 hours, just 6-7 hours, and I'm not going to feel it anymore on my skin. So if you are into sweet, fresh, modern fragrances, definitely check this out. You're going to love it. Probably, but if you're a fan of the old version of Miss Dior and the old versions of the Eau de Toilette and the Eau de Parfum of Miss Dior, this has nothing to do with the previous versions of Miss Dior. So if you're a fan of the old versions of Miss Dior, definitely do not blind buy this one because you might not like it. It's a completely different scent. It has a lot to do with Miss Dior Absolutely Blooming. So if you like Miss Dior Absolutely Blooming, definitely check this one out. It has a lot of similarities, at least in my opinion. It's very similar to this release of Miss Dior. I usually like to change my perfumes constantly, but Miss Dior is a perfume that I always have on my dressing table. In particular, Miss Dior Blooming Bouquet and Miss Dior Eau de Parfum, which are two of my favorite fragrances. My absolute favorite is definitely Miss Dior Blooming Bouquet, but the previous version of the Eau de Parfum was very, very special, very beautiful. And I really loved it. I would always keep it on my dressing table. I would really enjoy when I spray it on my skin because it would develop beautifully throughout the day. It would make me feel special. Yeah, it was a bit heavy. It was a little bit heavy, but it would develop after like 30-40 minutes it would start developing, and it would continue to develop throughout the day. What I don't like about this fragrance is that it is not that complicated as the previous version, and I really enjoyed how complicated this perfume was. I cannot hide it that I'm a little bit disappointed with this new reformulation, with this new release from Miss Dior, because I did expect something that was going to be a lot more similar to the old version. I did expect something more complicated, yeah, more modern, more fresh, but definitely I did expect something a little bit more complicated. Something that I don't really enjoy about this perfume is that it's like one of the many modern fragrances that I own. I like sweet fragrances, I like florals, but in this one, I can feel the roses, which is great because I really love fragrances that have roses or white florals. But this one, it's a little bit too sweet. Like, it's a little bit too sweet for me. So I think that's all I have for today. Please let me know in the comments below which is your favorite Miss Dior fragrance. And thank you so much for watching. Bye!